sa conjuncture root mean, the I is the present and the future. The me is the past. While here, in a William James context, the me is the past, the present, and the future. The I is at the moment, not at the very moment. So the I is the minimal self, the doer, the experiencer, the primitive. So, the I is suwaw. Suwaw. Hindi makita kung lagwan. Okay, the I is, that's my husband. So the I is the one doing it, no? The in the moment, no? It's the period of doing, the primitive, or the minimal self, or the individualized self. While the me is the narrative self, the self that is telling, the self that is socialized, the self that is involved with other people. Tama na ang me. So to further analyze, to further understand I versus me, let's try to check on these statements here. You're going to identify which is I, which is me, through this statement. Alright. So just say it, no? Say na lang. Ay na lang i-type. I have a healthy body. Is that an I or me? Class? I or me? I have a healthy body. Remember, the doer, the experiencer. The doer is the I, the me is the socialized aspect, the narrative self. Saman, I or me? I think kung said mo ay. Melvin. I or me? I have a healthy body. The first statement. Sige na. It's okay, not to make mistakes. It's okay. Alam mo sa'yo. It doesn't matter. Saman, I or me? Just say I or me.
I miss.
I am a cheerful person.
I miss.
Okay. I am an attractive person. I'm an attractive person.
I miss.
Okay. Religion is my guide in everyday life.
Me miss.
Me. I'm an honest person.
I miss.
I'm a happy family. I am from a happy family.
I miss.
Naano siya yung happy family. So,
Me miss. Lady.
I hate myself.
I miss.
I run a business.
Me miss.
That's me. I'm happy.
I miss.
I am not loved by my family.
Me miss.
Okay, so there is a little bit confusion, no, between I and me, but if you just think of the clue, like it's narrative, and it's socialized, so it gets you to the correct answer. So according to William James, his way of explaining is, well, this personality is, he called that the self-schema or the self-concept or identity. So self-concept, identity, self-schema, these are actually synonymous, no, in terms of its meaning. Okay, so let's try to explain further what's a self-schema. So all of these will boil down to answer the question, who am I? And also that self-schema is a product or a sum of me with I. Okay, taga-city. Alright, so when you self-schema, it's a belief about the self that organize and guide the processing of self-relevant information. So how do you explain that? So let me illustrate it with this. Okay, so it's a belief, no, sa imong self nga imong gi-organize, nag-guide sa pag-understand so unsa ka sa mga relevant information. So for example, mani ikaw, no, ikaw self, mani imong self. Kaning mga description like creative, honest, pwede na nimo gamiton, no, katong sa activity na to. Honest, daughter, religious, student, mo na imong self. These are the descriptions nga how I perceive myself, no, how I see myself. So kani siya mo ni ang imong belief sa imong kaugalingon nga ikaw honest, ikaw religyoso, nga ikaw creative. Imuha na pananaw. Kaning athletic, dependable, nice, singer, insecure, intelligent, mani pananaw sa uban nimo. Kaning ilang pananaw, akong pananaw, ako na i-combine, mao na ang imuhang ikaw. No? Mo na ang imong pagka-ikaw. So, dili ka makaingon nga ikaw intelligent ra, ikaw daughter ra, ikaw religious ra. Kung dili, you have a lot of description of about you. So, that is a conglomeration of who you are with a specific description of yourself, which are not just one, but many. Mana ang schema, no? It's a belief system. Process ni mga every time you're encountered with a lot of for example experiences, you're being called for being honest, you're called for being religious, kaning insecure, this is not a like sa relationship na siya na kay problema, insecure din ka, magselos din ka, ngay muuyab, dahil ka istorya ragali. So those are mga qualities nga nakita sa uban. Siguro ang resulta ng insecure ka, maguyab, insecure. Hindi mo ni muuyab, insecure man ka, sige magkagpagselos nga. I-text ragali niya itong classmate. Isa man na, imo sa uyab. Insecure. No? Sa ingon anak nga klase nga pagkatao. Ay naigo diha. Naigo as in target kay ma'am bullseye. Okay, so mo na self-schema. No? If kanang sa philosophical point of view, di ba naman to'y explanation si David yung dili ra ang imong experience, kundi ang experience po sa uban nga mao na yung unify, no, may mo integrate sa imong pagka-ikaw. Ano mo, no, na-relate siya sa kang David Hume. Now, nang ingon si John Dewey. John Dewey is best friend ni William James. Classmate ni sila sa katong nasa teacher nila nga first psychologist sa scientific psychology. In the modern psychology, the first psychologist was Wilhelm Wundt, a German psychologist. Nag-create siya o nagtudlo siyang mga students. 6 sila ka estudyante, one of which si William James, si John Dewey, si Sigmund Freud, si Stanley Hall. Dagan ng Amerika na to, so na yung mga German sa nato. Ingon siya, That's why a good self is diverse. So, lain-lain, yet harmonious. So, ito, di ba, gani-gani, lain-lain, positive, negative, growing, yet unified. So, like, growing ang imong pagka-insecure, mga secure na ka na. A fully participatory democracy in which the powers and capacities of individuals comprise and harmonize with the cooperative activities. Meaning to say that dili gid usara, dili it's diverse, so many pero harmonious. So in relation to that, i-supportaan, no? I-agree, ni-adhere sa idea ni John Lewis C. William James. So maningon siya nga, properly speaking, a man has many social self, as there are individuals who recognize him and carry an images of him in their head. So, daghan gyud ang self has many self in one person. Every person that you met, there is an identification of who you are. That's why he created the idea of the multiple self and the unified self. So, multiple self is the different self, but this would be in harmony. That is why we call that unified self. So let's try to differentiate. What are the multiple self? The multiple self includes experiential self, the private self, and the public self. So we say experiential self, this is the self wherein katong doer, no? The moment that they're conscious that you're doing it. Okay, like I am happy. I'm a girl, no, experiential self. I am discussing right now, no? I am a teacher. I am talking to you right now. So that is experiential self. Private self is the self that you keep, that you do not share it with everyone. It is ikaw lang dyan ang aware na, no? You are the only person who knows about it. Private self. Public self is the type of self or the self that you try to project to others. So remember sa song, diba ningon to nga kanang who is the girl I say staring straight back at me? So the reflection is your public self. People doesn't see you the way you want to see them. Lahi ang imong nakita. Private self ni mo nga babae ka, public self ni mo nakita nila lalaki ka. So, in that sense, na-conflict sa iyang personality, na-conflict sa iyang self, sa iyang multiple self. So, dili siya ma-unified. Kaya na may conflict, wala man ang tugma, wala man na align. So, wala'y congruent. Ma-unified na siya kung congruent. So, for example, kay mong pananaw, lalaki din magkita, babae. If you feel a girl, then may mamakita isang appearance girl. No, pero kung may iwan nga, they feel a girl, pero ang appearance nila boy. So, wala siya unified. Manang magka-problema. Manang maingon sila nga kanang na siya ka ng dilemma, no? Na siya struggle sa iyang self-identification. Okay? So, remember sa song, aniingon bitaw to nga kanang, if I wear a mask, I can fool the world, but I cannot fool my heart. So, the mask is the public self, no? What you are showing to everyone. But you cannot fool inside the real you, your private self. Also, it's who you are. It's what your true feelings, your true self-worth. And experiences it's what's in your memory, it's what's in your emotion, manang experiential, I feel happy, and an experiential self. And these three should be in congruence. Una ang unified self. Aside from the multiple and the unified self, there's also what you call the global and the differentiated model. The global self is your self in accordance to the culture. So let's say, Filipino, ang mga Filipino gyud kay magpo at opo. Ang mga Pilipino, musimba. So that is a global self na to, no? Meaning to say universal or daghan kasagaran, no? Muna siya ang global. Ang differentiated model is unique sa imuha, ikaw ra jud ang naana. Walay lain. Bisan pa i-Filipino ka, pero walay kaparihan imo nga ingon ana. Manay differentiated. Ang global kay ang imong personalidad in the context sa sa imong race, no, sa imong nationality, sa imong pagka-human being. No? So let's say ma-in love ka. Everybody is a loving person because everybody loves. So, man, global self na siya. Okay? So, now let's proceed to railroaders. So si Carl Rogers, na siya saying, no, naingon siya, the curious paradox is that when I accept myself just as I am, then I can change. So, what do you mean by paradox? Paradox means opposite. The very curious ko na paradox is that when I accept myself just as I am, then I can change. So, kung imong dawato na imong kagalingon, kung kinsa ka, then mausap nimo. Like, adik ka, kung dili ka accept nga adik ka, yun yung ka mausap. Adik ra yung ka, hangtod. So, mana siya yung ibig ni Carl Rogers. So, that's why, ingon siya nga, na siya idea of the true self and or the real self and the ideal self. Man ang iyang pansan, ang iyang theory, you know, the real versus the real versus the ideal. So the real is who you are, and the ideal is what you want to become. Okay? So unsa imong gusto nga mahimo ka? Okay, dili ka mo na yung game ni Rogers nga dili ka mahimong tao nga gusto nimo kung dili ka mo-akseptar kung kinsa ka. No? Layo siya sa tinuod. Ano ba? Marabag filler lang ka ba? Marabag reality versus expectations. You expect to be this, but in reality, you're not this. And you cannot become your expectation if you do not accept who you are. Managimi ni Carl Rogers. So, the self-concept is, there's a real self and there's an ideal self that you want to become. And since you cannot accept your real self, you try to create or portray a false self. Ang false self means dili tinuod. Muna nang mga, ay, katawan na plastic, katawan na ay. Abi na kung ngani ka, di man di ay. So, false self siya. So, this is what you want to be. You want to be, become macho, guwapo, gusto nimo nga sikat, gusto nimo nga ang matao, muduko nimo, no? Nang known ka to everyone. In reality, you are like this. Okay? In that sense, you are not true to yourself. You are not true if you do not feel what you think. If you do not, what you feel, what you think is not what you see. You are in a false self. No? You are not in real self. Okay? Ano, may tamo din na, ma'am? Yes, mga na siya. It's because of the societal standard or the family standard. Like, your family expected you to behave this way, but it cannot be. Ikaw bataan ka, di jud ka ang pareha ni kuan kanang bitaw kanang di ka bili ka mantigo mo kuan mang limpyo, di ka antigo mo na huna si mama ingana ikaw nga na jud ka. So mana nga kanang magpakuan-kuan na lang ka, magpabutan-butan para ka ma-accept ni mama, pero deep inside nagsikag hilak-hilak kay si mama yan kung kasabaan kay ngani ko nga. You want to be true? You want to be true to yourself, but you cannot be because of the expectation of your family. Ano siya problema? Diya na mag-start. So you try to create a self para i-please to everyone. And you know what, class? If continue doing it, if you're always wearing a mask, tendency is you will have ang term kanang sa dilemma kanang mag-self-conflict na kakay tawag na kay cognitive dissonance. Kung ang tao ko ang iyang real self is layo siya sa iyang ideal, you'll experience poor self-esteem. That could create cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance ka na bang sukwahi ang imuhang pagtuo sa imuhang i-expect. Expectation versus reality. Manay cognitive dissonance. Pero kung ang imong real self is towards your ideal self, haduol kay ka, isang dili yun exactly, pero duol-duol na lang ka, you will have a good self-esteem. You're happy, you are comfortable. Later on, atong i-characterize na unsa ng fake self, unsa ng true self, dili true self. So, mag-experience ka cognitive dissonance. Kung layo ang imong real sa ideal. Kung wala, kung duol ra, no cognitive dissonance. Saan na to na para wala tayong cognitive dissonance? increase self-awareness, increase self-acceptance, increase self-expression, reduce defensiveness. So, muna yung mga pambuhaton na to. Increase openness. Tara, accept ron, no? Mga anak ka. Then, be true, no? Express who you are. Muna, di ba dyan ko? Nila to nga. Muna akong nabatasan, pero ako ko na i-try to try to change. So, if that's gonna happen, you're gonna experience congruence. Pareha siya sa katong unified self, di ba? Na siya congruence ang multiple self niya, consistent siya. Ang kanila iya kay dili multiple self, dili experience ko dili ang ideal o ang real. So there is a congruence of your ideal and your real. So ingon na may tabok kung congruent, no, kaning imong self-worth, self-image, yung ideal self nag-overlap kay dual man siya sa ideal, no, imong worth siya sa imong ideal. So meaning happy ka, so imong happiness is not because of everybody's comment, but because you know who you are. Ila ka, kinsa ka, comfortable kasi mo galingon. Kung anak ka, kebs, ano man di ay no, wala sila ay kinang. So, ilang pananaw na ako nga ni, basta wala lang kay pasakitan. Mana na lang kay pasakitan nga tao. Pero kung dili kay ngunana mo na, incongruent ka, layo ang imong ideal sa imong worth, sa imong kagalingon. Manang na mag-self-pity, low self-esteem, walay confidence, magmukmok na, mag-depress na dayon, mag-hikong-hikong na dayon. Mo na siya mga hitabo. Ganang may yung kang, ano nga dyan na, maguna-una mo sila hikong-hikong. Di ba na yung mga tao, manana? And you know what? Naaragin na sa kagalingon. Pagdarag yun naman na siguro kung if the person doesn't realize na mauna na siya ang hinungdan kanindi ay real o ideal wala nag-abot now kung di sila kabawana maglisod sila maglibog sila ano yung nanan sila ano itong silang kalibog kikong na lang kapoy lang gulguon na lang pero kung imong ma-process imong ma-process imong thought imong feelings nga ang akong feeling, nganit ko, pero kung unang-una, nganit ko, sabag yun ang pinaka-essential sa tanan. Kanabang malipay ka tungod sa gusto sa uban, or malipay ka tungod mauna yung ganahan. Diba? Oy, namo diya? So, yes, kita man, kita who are the people really who are trying to, pero bag nag-push or nag-pressure na to, no, to para ma-think na itong atong ideal or help na to identify that there is really a asynchronous, there is something that cognitive dissonance right now going on inside of me. Kani sila, mga tao, una, ang images, no? Social media, sus, grabe ka na social media, no? Grabe ka na. So, muna, it's a bane or a boon? Na-study na, ano? Social media, is it a bane or a boon? Nabang kontra or dili kontra? Katabang or naka-disadvantage ba siya? So, as in, so far, sa mga batanon, naka-create siya o ka ng low self-esteem, no? Mga mapunta sa digital self, anak po hon. Discuss na. Unsa mo ang digital self po. Ang nakita ba sa Facebook, sa social media, mauba ang imong project na yung ba tao dili lahi sa tinuod, lahi sa gawa sa picture kundi ang mga personality sa mga persona nga ipakita objects, mga butang, no, kana mga butang nga wala nimo nga gusto ka na kana siya mo na yung magkapa-create nato sa ato ang false self. No, I wish na ako'y Prada, na ako'y Louis Vuitton, na ako'y Victoria's Secret, na ako'y mga panang, wala na bito. These are all material things. These things cannot be on. So, you could try to create a false self. The more you crave for not who you are, the more your false self becomes greater and bigger. That it will try to cover your true self. Okay? So why is that so? Because you're trying to protect your true self from getting hurt. No? Kanang sakitan ta nga may bawaan nga ni dita. so what, di ba? So what? It's who you are. Di ba katong sa tuskanta katong bang nga mabot ang time and be loved for who I am, no? And be loved for who I am. Diba na yung to siya nga kanang gusto siya nga ipakita niya sa iya nga ma-love na siya magkin sa siya. So, ilinit ka ito nga kanta gid actually, no? Kaning kantaha murag atong balik-balikon kina kanin sila, no? Balik-balikon connected ni tanan, we always go back to it kay mara man yun na siya nga to ang isgutan. So now let's try to identify kinsa tong nasa true sa false. Also try to evaluate yourself, no, by this description. Tanawan ninyo asa mo na bilong. Kasi makita mo lo, mura man nag false self matingali ko. No? So sige, as I go along, try to evaluate. You don't need to say it, no? Just think about it. Okay? So ang person with the true self kay characterized by unity and deep contentment. So na, dito ka, adjust ka sa iyong kagalingon, hindi ka masakitan, you cannot hurt. So, tinin mo nga na ka na, wala ra epekto. Buti kag now. Okay, thank you very much, Mora. Ang false self kay Koan, always in constant shame and guilt. Wow. Guilty. Inherently insecure nara insecure di gawas, afraid, hadlok nang dili makikatubang og tao, must dress up in all kinds of unworkable ways. Kana bang mong itag pagi ba nga himo na lang nga para i-please ang tanan. Then sa pa ang true self kay focus, clear, centered, calm, serene, peaceful, patient, persistent, committed, appreciative, grateful, ano ba? Thank you. Nachitaw sige, thank you. Ako na, joke. Dahil ka nang salain nila, salamat. If you have a grateful heart, that means you feel that these people have done something good to you. Ana man akong perception good nga. Bisag gamay, the smallest things is done for you. You should thank that. You should, kay ka nang i-thank you bitaw ka, a recognition of such good deed he or she has done. So, well-deserved ang person. Bisag gamay na, pasinsiyura na, thank you. Anang ipalingkod na ka, thank you. Tigstorya, salamat sa time, thank you. So, that's really actually a good attitude. Grateful heart. Kaya mo ni mga positivity. Di ba? Kabantay mo na sa mga positive self-image. Be grateful. Imagine the blessing. Do not count the many malas in your life. Count the blessings. Count that you're able to wake up. Count that you have. Count nga na kay family. Na kay mo ni mga dali na. Nga ka. Count that one. Okay, someday, you'll never experience that. It will be different. Empathic, sensitive, respectful, na kay mga friends who are real. Bahalag dili daghan, bahalag gamay ra, basta tinuod na friend. No, dili siya mga fake friends. Work, play, and rest are generally balanced. Ang tao nga nasa false self, distracted, confused, scared, guilty, angry. Kanabit ang mga bitter. Bitter, jealous. Nara bagong sini nagbubuhanan niya. Wapa, pati man nagnaw. Di man naman na, inatag man ang skuanan. Kabantay man na yung mga tao. Kanabang, so tikang maayo ba yan? Iyari counter pati. Para bagong selos siya. Kana siya, pamaon na mo kuana eh. Kana, sayon naman na. Di na lang siya mingon nga, bitaw. Ba? So, if nakay bitterness, nakay jealousy, nakay resentment inside, nakay problema. Impatient, impulsive, uncommitted, difficulty in forming true bonds. Kana bitaw, maglisod ka o create sa imuhang mga friends nga remaining mo, sige kag nakakaaway. Nadyo ko kailangan ni class, no? 40 na yung edad ato nga time, 45 ng birthday siya. Birthday siya na siya na kontra. Wala niya ato sa iyang birthday. Araw niya. Tanan niyang ma-encounter mo best friend niya, ma-enemy niya. So, na dyan tao, ngayon na, yung mara siyang maglagot sa mga tao. But anyway, nahapon na. So, Kebs na ako, no? I'm just happy. Pero maluoy lang sa tanila. Ngayon na sila. Unclear. Work, play, and rest are often unbalanced. Dili ka accomplish ilang mga trabaho. Okay, now let's proceed to the third one. Klaro na to, class? Yes, miss.
Yes, miss.
Na-enjoy na mo? Nag-yaw-yaw-yaw na ko dili nga ko Rosa. Alright, so arita sa kang Joseph Luft and Harrington Ingham. Mani sila duha. Kining taas, mani si Joseph Luft. Kining bubo, mani si Harrington Ingham. Both are Americans. Okay? So, mga patay na ni sila. Ang ilahang idea is called the quadrants of personality. They call that the Joe Harris window. So, gi-combine nilang name, Joe Harris window. According to them, there are 4 areas of yourself. And these area are public self, open area, blind area, private or hidden area, and the unknown area. All of us have this. Yeah, unsa man ang public area, public self. This is the part of ourself na known to others and known to self. Meaning, you know it, nga ikaw ang anak ka, other people knows nga ikaw na anak ka. Okay, for example, aware ka nga girl ka. Sila aware sa nga girl ka. So that is known to self. Basta sure ka nga girl, dyan mong feelings yung kagalingon. So that is public area. CTU student ka, kabaw sa di mong classmate, CTU student ka. So that is public area. Anak ka ni Mr. So-and-so, o ikaw sa Mr. So-and-so, kaibawasan ka. Kaibaw kasi mong edad, kaibawasan sila sa mong edad. Public area. Blind area is the area. Namdam mo, balik ta atong worksheet. Diba nato katong sa middle nga figure, diba ning ko nga, unsay common description nga makita nga naa sa duha, ya imo isuwat sa tunga. Mao na public area kay known to self, known to others, man to siya. So mo to example. Ya kaning blind area kay kanang wa ka kaybaw, no sila. So katong mga comments sa uban, kato bitaw sa third nga figure, human figure, nga wala makit-ini mo dito sa imuha, mao day blind area nimo. No, nga may kangala. Ani day ko? I remember one incident when I was doing this activity in classroom. I was not in my classroom because I had a meeting for the accreditation. And then one time, nagbili na akong estudyante, and then I was told ba nga, ma'am, kanang nag-away, sinumbagay na sila, ma'am, ang lingkuran na, ma'am, ano naman? Ma'am, nasuko siya, ma'am, kay ginan siya, bayod siya. Yay, blind area. No, na-init comment ba nga, kanang, you are a gay, nasuko siya. So, take note sa diay ha, be open-minded. Matong katong sa kang Carl Rogers ba, reduce defensiveness. Di ba? Reduce defensiveness. Be open-minded. Kung na sila comment ingon na, take it as it is nga. Try to think. Ano di ay ko? Bayot di ay ko? Kalabasin di ay no? Kaya nakakaangkon nga bayot ka. And then, money blind area ni mo. Meaning, wag ka kaibaw. Dili ka aware. Anong to self? But the others, aware na. Kaning private area, hidden area kay, ikaw rin na kaibaw. Maban wala. No? Ikaw rin na kaibaw. Maban wala. Unknown to others. Unknown to others. Like, kanang, bayot jud ka sa deep inside. Pero, kanang, wala ni mo gipakita. Palaki-laki ka, kasi mong papa. Papa. Ikaw raw sa kay, wala na ka, magbayot ka. Yung na mong papa, kita sa private area na siya. Katong na sa imohang first na column, imohang comment niya, wala dito sa third nga figure. So, mo tayo private area nimo. Kaning anong area, wala dito kay baon sana. So, pananglitan ka na, wapag kay baon. Your husband, imong career, kamamatay, o ba na, no? Yet to be discovered. So these are things that are yet to be explored and to be discovered. Kaning anong area. Okay? Ang objective nila ni Joseph Love, para ka maging fully functioning individual, kinahanglan nata area ani nga to ang palapdon. Atong i-open. Asa ka nga area? What do you think, class? Asa nga area? Rafa? Yamada? Liamado.
Yes, Miss.
Which area do you think? Para makayung ka nga, you know yourself better now.
I think so. Private?
Private?
No, more on sa public.
Okay. It's public self. So, ang public self, ang ato ang padak mo. Palapdon. Okay? Kay dapat known to others and known to self. So, you know yourself and others know it. You really show who you really are. On a public self. But the question is, how? No? Saan man na, ma'am? Para mulapad akong public self. It's for you to discover. Part na sa activity na to, no? So, mag-imod mo itong Johari window. Una nga, isuwa tong public self, no? Katong i-mention karon nga, public self katong nasa tunga, ang blind area katong gisulat sa third nga figure, pero wala siya magkiti. Dili siya common, no? Dili siya common. Wala nimo masuwat sa imuha, manay blind. Ang private katong imong isuot sim kogilingon pero wala pud sa other nga masulat nga private. Ang anon is wata na ninyo diya nga yet to be explored, yet to be discovered. Or future husband, future career, pila imong bank account. So naisulat na nimo. And then down below is what will you do to increase your public self? Answer in one sentence only. What will you do? So yung buhaton. No? Na imuha na ng kuhan. Unsay buhaton nimo para mo dako ang imuha public self? Ikaw na yung explain na. Then here, kanang I'd like you to analyze, diba sa third na to objective kay mag-analyze ta og sa schemas of sa katao. Ang atong analyze kani si Vincent Van Gogh. You know, he's a very interesting life. Okay? Kaning si Vincent Van Gogh, taga Dutch man siya, taga Holland. Yeah. Artist siya nga painter. Yang pinakasikat nga painting unsa man gani kailan man niya? Say sikat niya nga painting.
Okay. Starry Night.
Very good. Starry Night. Yeah, gabi kini siya struggle class, no? He went with different foster homes pagdagdako siya. Yeah, gusto kay may painter. It was not supported with the family. So, nag-run away siya to Paris. Nag-build siya yung studio. Then, siya na-meet nga best friend niya, nga turned to be an enemy sa niya. Kaya mga hawayon. Kaya na siya insecurities, no? Ang iyang mga painting sa iyang friend, mas dikan mo palit kay sa iya ha. So, siya, mo siyang magselos. So, iyang labay o kutsilyo. So, nag-away na sila. Wala, on his own na siya. And then, ang iyang relationship, ma-reflected sa siyang relationship nga, i-jump from relationship. Sa kinsa na lang nga babae, na siya prostitute, na siya ka ng nanay anak, nanay mga ingon na, and then, wala siya friends, no? Syara-syara. Yung mga neighbors kay, hadlok sa iya kay, they tend to think that he's a crazy man. And, so, he has a lot of struggle. Kung siya ka ng manic-depressive, nabang sa puton, aggressive, na tao, dali na masuko, loner, then aloof, ayos siya. So, ang ending, kaya nagkita niya nga na siya problema sa himself, nag-admit siya sa himself dito sa mental hospital, sa asylum. So, 3 months, he was there for treatment. Within 3 months, he has painted a lot of paintings. And then, he could no longer bear himself. He killed himself. ikog siya. Busil sa kaugalingon. Wala ka pa siya namatay. The next day, namatay na siya. Okay? And one of the very famous painting was posted on a wall dito sa Osaka Museum. Nakitaan siya ni Don McLean. Don McLean is a singer. Through sa painting, iyang understand ang life ni Vincent. Iya ang nahimuan og kanta. Murag na-relate ni Don McLean ang iyang kaugalingon sa painting no ni Vincent. Murag kay during the time when he created the Starry Night ni Vincent, he was really troubled. Yeah, na-feel na ang trouble ni Don McLean ni Vincent. Kay murag separated siya on the verge of divorce siya at the time. So mo na na-feel niya na kimuan ako ni kanta. So, money ang song na ako ipa-play. Boy. Hindi naman ako. So if you have to read further, I have attached this link to your G classroom. You can read it. You can read further.
Starry, starry night. Paint your palette blue and gray. Look out on a summer's day with eyes that know the darkness in my soul. Shadows on the hills. Sketch the trees and the daffodils. Catch the breeze and the winter chills in colors on the snowy linen land. Now I understand what you tried to say to me. How you suffered for your sanity. How you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they did not know how. Perhaps they'll listen now. Starry, starry night. Flaming flowers that brightly blaze. Swirling clouds in violet haze. Reflect in Vincent's eyes in china blue. Colors changing hue. Morning fields of amber grain. Weathered faces lined in pain are soothed beneath the artist's loving hand. Now I understand what you tried to say to me. How you suffered for your sanity. How you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they did not know how. Perhaps they'll listen now, for they could not love you. But still your love was true. And when no hope was left inside on that starry, starry night, you took your life as lovers often do. But I could have told you this world was never meant for one as beautiful as starry, starry night. Portraits hung in empty halls. Frameless heads on nameless walls. With with eyes that watch the world and can't forget, like the strangers that you've met, the ragged men in ragged clothes, a silver thorn, a bloody rose, lie crushed and broken under virgins. Now I think I know what you tried to say to me, how you suffered for your sanity, how you tried to set me free. They would not listen, they're not listening still. Perhaps they never will.
Alright, it's a very, very nice song. So look at this. Ingon siya, diba? Nga kanang, how you suffered for your sanity, how you tried to set them free. So, nag-suffer siya sa iyang sanity. Kaya naman siya yung katong problema, good katong bipolar disorder. Ang bipolar. Nani din sa, nani aning article na mention na siya. Tapos, ingon siya nga kanang, for they could not love you, but then your love was true. For they could not love you. Kaysa may gimin ano niya, ang mga tao, no, surroundings niya nga. Hindi siya ma-accept kinsa siya. Kay, weird, langod siya, no? Ano siya mga personality ba? And then the whole world was in that starry night. You took your life as lovers of men. You took your life. Ito man na, suicide, nag-iko. As lovers of Fendo kay ano na mga uyab-uyab. Ikog ko, ikog ko dahil, no? Yung i-compare ba na? But I could have told you, Vincent, this world was never meant for one as beautiful as you. Ay, sus, kalamis kanta, no? Kanang, if the world cannot accept you, maybe on the other side of the world, be able to see the beauty inside. Yan, di ba sa last ito is kanang, perhaps they never.
For your sanity, how you tried to set them free. They would not listen, they're not listening still. Perhaps they never will.
So, maybe ang mga tao, dili na kayo ba, namatay na po siya. And he became very famous sa iyang mga paintings. Kaning ipakita nga backdraft sa song are all the paintings of Vincent. All the paintings have a common theme. Common color dark, common theme. Look at the stars. The style which is called the impressionistic style is really, sa Twitter, makakadang post-impressionism, no? Post-impressionism, meaning to say, post-impressionism, ang style niya is ang stroke sa iyang painting, sharpie and edgy, okay, which suggests aggression, and the color dark, yeah. Bantay mo, nagit siya night, star. So the night resemble the darkness that he's trying to make it brighter, no? That he's in the middle of a depression, that he wanted to be happy. Anang iyang struggle. So read more, understand more about Vincent. And the questions here being asked is, explain the self-schema of Van Gogh according to Rogers. Diba si Rogers katumantong true self versus ideal. So unsa ang true self ni Van Gogh, unsa ang iyang ideal? Yan. Kaning sa Johari window, maging mo sa mag-Johari window ni Van Gogh, sa yung public area raw, sa yung public area, sa yung private area niya. Based sa mga articles nga na basahon ninyo. Okay? Sabtan? Pangutana. Pangutana, guys. Hoy, pangutana? Tanin nyo na. Wala dyan may question. Ika-bright. ninyo ang buhatonon?
Yes, Miss.
Paano mo?
Wala pa sa akin.
Wala ba, miss?
Go.
Sige. Mag-check attendance na. Basta, just perform it. Ayaw lang yung pag-comply nga. Wala mo basa-basa. Paparihan niya mo atong madjuha. Madjuha. Ito bang, BBB ba nga? Wag kailang gumbursa. Syaro naman sa to sila. Okay ba?
Nasa-lex pod, Miss.
Oo, pataka ra sila. Kung sa si Tandang Sora. Gato pa kita na ko ato. Di ba, kat story teacher ba ako? Kaya ba ako sa tanan answer ato? Na-shock ko silang tubag. Ako estudyante may mamuntubagan. Ako yung mga maestra nila. Malmalo yun ako sila. Okay, amahan. Anak, Espiritu Santo na
Present, ma'am.
Arabis.
Present, ma'am.
Argente.
Present, ma'am.
Patukan. Arwin.
Present. Present, ma'am.
Bustilio.
Present, ma'am.
Caresosa.
Present, Miss.
Bonag.
Present, miss.
Rivera. Eric. Asa man ni si Eric? Wala na nito nga lagi. 12. Tracy. 12, Tracy. Absent. Duran.
Present, Miss.
Egos.
Present, Miss.
Eslit.
Present, Miss.
Aura. Rinalyn.
Present, Miss.
Federicos.
Present, Miss.
Abel.
Present, Miss.
Jimenez.
Present, miss.
Darayos.
Present, Miss.
Lim.
Present, Miss.
Yamada.
Present, Miss.
Casero.
Present, Miss.
Manalang.
Present, Miss.
Calvo.
Present, miss.
Tawag mo ko Jimenez?
Present, miss.
Tawag di ka?
Oman na, miss.
Calvo Ortiz.
Present, miss.
Punggautan. Dia. Erika. Sinsan siya? Ba, kanang nawa idea asa ni sila?
Ay, by the way, miss, kato si Dulce o si Pangautan. Irregular students din na sila, miss.
Unsa may pasabot? So di sila mo tunga kay
Edited na ang kaning unit, miss.
So humana sila sudan eh? Usay meaning ana dong. Di ko ka G anang kanang may nga sa regular. Pwede sila mosulod nya
Naana na sa credited na sila si OR, miss. Murag na take na ni nila nga unit ba daan.
Unya gi-enroll lang nila. Ano naman
Wala man ni sa ilang si OR, miss.
so dili ko matag nila grades.
Yes, miss.
Okay. Ay naman. Kuan. Restauro na ano?
Present, Miss.
Rituerto.
Present, miss.
Pinsa to si Dulce og si Ito dong? Punggautan?
Yes, miss.
Dulce Tracy ug Punggautan. Sarmiento.
Present, miss.
Sekretarya.
Present, Miss.
Malinog.
Present, miss.
Neo.
Present, Miss.
Cyril.
Present, Miss.
Neo Mary.
Present, Miss.
Yo, Chu, Mariel. Bunalo,
Present, Miss.
Villanueva. Thank you very much, everyone. Good
Miss,
luck sa
napili
inyo.
mo matawag, Miss.
Kitsa.
Bago man ni Miss, additional na mo, Miss. Vanessa Diaz, yan ni Miss.
Diaz. Yes. So, baliw na lang ko og apas Diaz sa mga activities ha.
Nakaupo.
Nakapas na ka?
Oh, Miss. Excuse me, Miss. Nakoy question.
Yes.
Okay na if ang mga activity kay done by documents?
Ang activity kay
Ang gibuhat sa Word tanan.
okay naman. May kanang problema lang kay akong concern kay kanang okay ra gid nako kung ba-open kay say unsa na cellphone imong gamit dili
Dili, laptop.
laptop Microsoft Word
Yes.
okay ra may problema na day
Okay, thank you, Miss.
wala di kay PDF na kuan
Wala na akong i-PDF, Miss. Understand ako na lang i-PDF.
okay ra wala problema na ang ako man na kay for dili na siya makopy sa uban ba kay basin nang ang uban mo makopy man gud ayo na ba dili ma-edit ang masang PDF kay dili man siya ma-edit
Okay. Sige,
kay
Miss.
privacy ba sa imong answer i-delete lang gud kung daghana kang basin daghan kang file yan. Once makasubmit ka, pwede rin mo i-delete, i-retain mo ang Word. Ano lang.
Okay, Miss. Thank you.
Okay. Unsa ito yung first name ni Diaz?
Vanessa, Miss.
Nakatunga ka last meeting wala?
Miss.
Katong April, kuan? Ano wala man ka sa akong list? Pag April 6?
Oo, Miss.
Wali ka ni tingog. Sure ka? Or late enrollee na ka?